Usually I'm typing or doing other things, so speaking's a little different. So hopefully do too good. I am Matt Mercer. Great to be here tonight. Watching that video was awesome. We played beforehand. It brought back some fun from a very late election night. So one of my other jobs, I didn't talk about it too much during the campaign, but a few months after I started at the NCGOP, after President Trump formally clinched the nomination, I get a call to say, hey Matt, you're doing such a good job. We're gonna give you a bunch more work and not pay you any more for it. So we want you to handle all of the communications in the state for President Trump. And so of course you say yes, because President Trump wanted you to do it. So I also managed that for the entire campaign. So watching that video election night just still gives me a little bit of goosebumps thinking about that. So really what brought me back to the party after being in media for 4 years was a trip my wife and I took to Nashville, Tennessee. Now, of course, we went down to Lower Broadway and did all the fun things. But I was really excited that Sunday afternoon, we left that evening. We got to go to Hermitage, which is the residence and land that President Andrew Jackson lived at, managed through his entire life. He was really the first kind of populist revolt president that we had. So it was really cool for me to be able to go there, learn about his life, learn about all the things he did. He was such an interesting guy. Very, very cool place. I recommend it if you're in Nashville and have your fill of all the country music playing in all the bars. Make a trip out to Hermitage. It's really cool. But one of the things that you see is several times, one of his things that he said about himself was, I was born for a storm and a calm does not suit me. I actually took that to heart so much. I have it inscribed on the house my wife and I built a couple years ago on one of the beams in the house. So who does that also apply to? President Donald Trump. He was born for a storm. And you think about all the things that happened in this campaign, nearly being assassinated twice, really the most iconic campaign and one of the greatest wins we've ever had. As I was thinking about what am I actually going to come here and talk about tonight, that story actually just came to me in the car on the way here. I try not to plan things out too much. Very different from my personal and my professional life. So I just think that's something really important to think about, is that think about what you can do to stay in the fight. And when things are down, there's always another fight to be had. And so looking at the election results, I'm not entirely happy. I mean, we didn't do as well as we could have or we should have. I mean, I felt like I'm honest enough to say that. But one thing we are doing is we're winning the long game. If you think about where this state was 20 years ago, Democrats had everything: the General Assembly, governor, courts, voter registration. You hear Chairman Simmons, and this is something that we've drilled into a lot. In 2016, Democrats had a 645,000 registered voter advantage over Republicans. And as the registrations from early voting have come in, you know what that's down to now? 105,000. We have changed the electorate in North Carolina. Now, the party can only do so much. It takes great candidates like the gentleman you see over here to go that extra mile and make their case to all the voters. But from a party infrastructure position, we are winning the long game. We took the General Assembly, we flipped the courts. We're going to get the governor's mansion one day. It's going to happen. And we have both senators. We have 10 members of Congress going to DC to back up President Trump and J.D. Vance. So what I'm telling you is we're winning the long game. And there are bumps in the road when it comes to that. I'll give you one example. I was at the office before I came here. We've got a conference room full of attorneys fighting right now to make sure we do our best for Jefferson Griffin. I can't promise you what's going to happen, but it will not be for a lack of effort. So where that race stands right now is really the fault of the State Board of Elections and the guidance they gave to the counties that was inconsistent, they've been uncooperative, and they've been non-transparent in how they've administered things this year. The things we are protesting, over 60,000 ballots. They followed about 6 different buckets. I know some emails have gone out today that I helped draft, kind of explaining what that is. I can't say what's gonna happen for sure. I know what they should say at the state board. I know things are being fought there. I don't know how it's gonna turn out, but it will not be for a lack of effort. And so I want everybody to be energized that, yeah, I mean, we're gonna win some, we're gonna lose some along the way, but that winning makes up for it because of the changes that we can make in this state. The changes we've already made in the state, making a positive impact. And I wanna thank everybody here for doing that. And saying, I told you I wasn't gonna take off 15 minutes. I don't wanna talk that long, but I appreciate y'all having me tonight. I'll be happy to stick around and answer anything else later on. I appreciate your time, thank you.